Hey guys, Rick Shaw here, and I just thought I'd go over this buggy again. This is our Honda Mobilio that we bought. We've had it well over a year now, and I'm going to get inside here and show you that it's pretty easy to get in and out of. For me, being as tall as I am, I'm 6'8", and it's very easy for me to get out of. I've had 3 back surgeries. I had a very bad compression fracture from an automobile accident. I was actually told by the doctors I'd never walk again. And then when I finally was back up and gone, they said, well, you'll be lucky if you're walking by 50. Well, 9 years passed and I'm still cooking, so that's why I don't trust doctors. But this is our little buggy. We've had it for over a year. I took all the receipts. I put every single receipt in the glove box, and we just did a little conversion on all the gas I bought. I didn't use the last tank, but I didn't use the mileage from the last tank either, because I always put a trip meter on to see what I'm getting. And the overall mileage for the entire year on all the gas we bought, other than this last tank, has been 38 miles to the gallon for everybody there in America. In the Philippines, it's something per liter. I don't know what that would be per liter, but we've been getting 38 from the beginning of time. That's our average. That's all the gasoline I used and how many miles I've traveled. There's some things I complained about when I first got the car. One thing was these. The rear view mirrors are fantastic. I mean, when you're inside the car, you can see right there. They're fantastic, but they don't fold in far enough, which, to me, here in this country, you know, you look at the car in front. I don't know if you can see that little Nissan in front of me, but they got their mirror folded in. You fold your mirrors in here because people, if you don't, I don't know what it is. They smack them, they break them, they do all kinds of crap. So you do have to fold them in. That's one thing I thought was silly, but I don't fold them in. Somebody gonna break them, they break. The other thing I didn't like was this the radio. It's a crap. And then this post right here, you know, I hit when I'm steering. I hit this wiper thing all the time. That's never going to go away. It's just never going to go away. There's not enough room for my hand to fit through here. I wish there was a way to bend this. I tried to see about getting it out, and then, you know, maybe pushing it back, but there's no way without breaking it for me to do that. So it's just a pain in the ass. There's a lot of wires inside the stalk. It's just too much involved. There is another thing that I definitely found out in a year of ownership. Right here, I hope you can see this, but if you have anything in your pocket that falls down here, oh my, you can't reach under here to get it. The way it falls in underneath here, you got to get out of the car, open up the back door and reach in to grab it. If you lose anything down there, Honda, that was dumb. Every time I drive it, what I do, we just had it cleaned, so I put a towel in here, so in case if anything falls in there, because you ain't getting it without getting out of the car. But the things I really love about it is it's super quiet. I mean, you get on the highway, it's very quiet. There's no wind noise. The door seals are all good. I've armor rolled them a few times already, the door seals, to make sure they stay lively and they don't dry out and crack. But we get no wind noise from this at all. We never run the car without air conditioning. I've never started up without the air conditioner on. We don't run with windows down at all. I pretty much keep the cabin filter closed from the outside air. You know, we put a few cabin filters in here. And I was really impressed with the mileage, 38 overall, even though we had that Tagay tie where my mileage went down to nothing when we had that dust everywhere. Every time you took the car out, I'd put a new air cleaner in it, and it was plugged up by the end of the day. So, and I went down, it actually went down on this little fuel light. It's just basically a vacuum light. The little fuel light came on and was saying I was getting 10 kilometers per liter. I guess that's what that means. and which was like really low because it was always saying higher than that. It was always saying 25, 28, you know, real high numbers. So we had a good bit of time for that, and it didn't matter when you drove up the street. It was kicking this stuff off the ground wherever you went. The dust from the volcano, and the air cleaner was just plugged. There was no blowing it out, clean it out, nothing. It just turned it black. So, and I still averaged 38 miles per gallon, so I was really impressed. Just a nice buggy. Out of a lot of the cars I've owned, I'd have to say this. My favorite was another Honda. My favorite vehicle I ever owned was a Honda Element. I had that, and that I just thought that was fantastic. That was the finest vehicle I have ever owned in my entire life. This would be the second, and it seems really funny that it's both of them are Hondas. You know, the Honda's just making the best cars for me. I fit in this thing very well. You know, I have plenty of room here. I mean, if you look, I'll put this up by the ceiling. If you look, I got lots of headroom here. I got the seat all the way back, but I got plenty of leg room here. You know, it's pretty good here, and plenty of pockets in here. The seats are fantastic. I mean, I have a lot of trouble with my back. A lot of times it's hard to drive. The thing gives a fantastic ride also. You know, you got to watch the speed bumps and all that, but when you're driving it rides really nice. It doesn't have the, you know, real tight suspension that bangs the hell out of you. This has got a really good suspension in it, and it's our car. It's going to be, you know, it's my retirement car. It's probably going to be the last car I ever own, and it's just a fantastic buggy. I really can't. These little niggly things I complain about, that's just me being me, I guess. But other than that, it's a fantastic car. Just everything about it. You know, we got the 3 rows of seats for the kids. You know, they're over there playing right now. My little goofy guys right there. And you know, just everything. It's just good. Like I say, these mirrors are fantastic. Everything's easy to reach for me. You know, I can reach everything. The other things I don't like, I wish it had auto for all the windows, and also when you lock the windows, it locks that one and the back ones. See, they're all locked except the driver's window. I want to be able to be my command center, lock this, and then still be able to control all the windows. But you know, then the kids are always in the back. My youngest one, if I have to open it for some reason, I forget to lock it. He's opening these windows all the time. He's dicking around with it. So I wish Honda would have, you know, if they would take some input from people like me and just all my other cars. This is the first one. I've had other cars where when you lock this out, your command center had control of all the windows still, but they didn't. It locked their switch out. That's it. So that's kind of a niggly thing that bugs me that they did. I would have liked that to have been different. But I would love to also see the auto on all the windows. You know, that would be something that car manufacturers should put in. Just put an auto. This one here, you push it down a little bit, it stops. If you push it all the way down, it goes into automatic, which, you know, that's great. That's fantastic. This car didn't come with a cruise control or anything like that. I would have liked to have cruise control. Most of my vehicles I've always had cruise control. But this one here, it's not hard to hold the pedal down. It's not uncomfortable at all. They don't have the pedal up so high like on a couple cars I've had. The clutch has been fantastic. I did change the clutch fluid already. I just went ahead and drained it out the bottom, took the thing off, drained it out, and I put some new in. And I also did the brakes and the clutch are the same deal, so that got my brake fluid and all that. So I put some brand new .4 in there. I've already done the transmission with synthetic. I do the motor with synthetic. You know, I'm just anal about that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm sitting here. It's running now. The air conditioner's on. It's nice. There's my little boy. Hello? Hello? Nobody home? But and the other thing that I really really like about this car
Papa got
is,
character.
as far as I'm concerned, I'm getting out, guys. Can you move? Can you move? I gotta get out. No, leave that. I'm getting out. Come on.
But I'm too big.
No, we're gonna get out.
You know that toothpick has 2 sides?
Oh, I know it does. Okay, let me close the door. No, no. Why are you taking the car? Don't take the car ones. You don't take the car ones. Take the inside the house ones. But I wanted to get to you about. I think it's a really good looking car too. I mean, look at that. That is. It's just a real good looking car. It's roomy inside. I didn't get the CVT, but it's a. For us, it's been a fantastic vehicle, and I would say anybody coming here to live in the Philippines, or even Filipino, if you want to get a really good car, just a fantastic buggy for the money. You know, I could add any car I wanted, and I don't like to spend a lot of money. I looked at that the car I was really looking at when I first started looking for cars was that Mazda Sport Coupe. And I thought, wow, this thing's really fantastic. Went and looked at it and just was in love with it. Powerful motor, handling out the wazoo. And then I thought, well, I'm not just going to buy that. I'm going to look around. I'm going to start looking at everything they have to offer. And I looked at a lot of vehicles. I mean, I looked at that Suzuki Alto 800 even. I looked at. I actually fit in one of those, and I thought that was a cool car. I'm going to get one for my wife. I looked at also the Suzuki. Their little four-wheel drive car. I loved that one. I liked that, but I thought it was a little bit much for what you were getting. You know, for what you were getting, and the way it rode, it didn't ride nice. And I'm all about comfort now. You know, I'm not 20 years old anymore. I'm all about comfort. And then I looked at a lot of other vehicles, and then I ran into this one. I just happened to be down by the Carmona, and I thought, I'm going to pop into Honda, and I saw one of these down there. They had a blue one on the showroom, and I looked at it, and I was like, wow, sat in it. I looked also at I think it was the Pilot. They had some nice vehicles in there, and you know, I looked at it, I said, wow, this is pretty much the one like the Sport Wagon, and I needed for the kids, the 3 rows of seats. I just needed that, and I went ahead and I could not justify the Mazda's price. It was double. It was double of what this cost. And of course, you're getting Honda motor. I mean, this dang thing, when this cam does its change thing, if you want to lug it at around 1,000 RPM, it'll do that all day. But if you decide you want to get into the pedal a little bit, you stomp her down, she'll run this thing all the way up to $7 grand, and it'll go past that. It doesn't even care. It just does it. You know, they are a motor company, and they built a really good motor. The gearbox in it's fantastic. I had a little bit of trouble with it sticking going into 5th. I put the synthetic in there, and then that smoothed it out quite a bit. But also, I pulled the piece off of the thing, and the little gate. There's a gate under there, and that thing was not sitting perfectly. I'm looking at it; it's crooked. I'm like, wow, why is that crooked? So I went ahead and loosened the screws and moved it, and boom, problem solved. No more problems. So I think what happened, it must have been a machine doing the work, not a human when they put that in there. And I got all that straightened out. But that's just my. This is actually way more than a year. March was a year, but we were on shutdown for the last 80-some days, where we're all locked down and can't really go anywhere. I actually, in this lockdown time, I had filled the tank up right before we were locked down, and I haven't really driven it that much. You know, we can't. So I haven't even used a quarter of a tank of gas on it. But it's being really easy on tires. It's not doing anything weird with the tires. The rack and pinion steering is absolutely fantastic. I have an original video that I did on it. You can go back and look at that one. But I'm still in love with this car. I can't believe what a fantastic vehicle we got for the money. I mean, it come out in American money about $13,000. So, you know, where can you get such a fine automobile for $13,000 other than from Japan, I guess, because it is really something. So that's Rickshaw. It's the 13th of June. Just doing another little thing on the wonderful Honda Mobilio. And there's my goofy little guy. Can you say rickshaw out?
Rickshaw out.